Before we begin, tell me, where in the world are you watching from right now? Drop it in the comments. And if you can't resist billionaire drama, digital secrets, or forbidden romance, go ahead, tap that like button, hit subscribe, because this story? This one might just ruin you in the best way. Now, imagine this. A vault no hacker had ever breached. A woman no billionaire ever expected. And a secret that could burn empires. Title: She cracked his cryptocurrency vault. Then he turned her into his business partner. Let's begin. Soft strains of a lone violin sweep through the air as the camera drifts over polished marble floors. Each tile, white-veined with graphite, reflects the glow of crystal sconces. A pair of alabaster columns flank a towering chandelier, its prisms refracting city lights like liquid jewels. Above, an impossibly high ceiling curves in a whispering fresco of constellations, an artistic nod to eternity, wealth, and ambition. Custom-made carpet of deep sapphire velvet leads to a panoramic wall of glass. Below, Karachi's skyline flickers in 1,000 neon pulses, as if the city itself hums in sync with the chandelier's heartbeat. Lustrous sofas of ivory leather hug a central coffee table carved from a single slab of Carrara marble, its surface as smooth and cold as the billionaire who commissioned it. To the right, a discreet service door slides open, revealing a butler in tailcoat, crisp, immaculate, his silver tray holding a crystal decanter of 100-year-old scotch. He glides forward, pouring amber liquid into a cut-glass tumbler, the ice cubes whispering as they collide. A single cube, etched with the logo of Ardent Holdings, catches the glow of candlelight. Opposite, a sleek bar stretches across one wall. Backlit shelves display rare vintages, champagnes from the Côte des Bar, cognacs that predate the Eiffel Tower. Each bottle stands behind tempered glass, locked with an iris scanner. Below, a hidden cooler hums, storing oysters on ice and caviar, tins labeled in Cyrillic. In the corner, a grand piano of obsidian lacquer is propped open, its ivory keys gleaming like teeth. A single sheet of music lies on the stand, an original composition by a young prodigy from the Lahore Conservatory, commissioned by our unseen host. The last note, held in suspense, seems to echo through the room, melting into the hushed lounge. Polished walnut console under the skyline wall holds a row of digital frames. They cycle through family photos, Founders' Day black and white prints, then switch to recent snapshots. The billionaire, Alaric Dane, stepping off a private jet, clinching a deal in Geneva, raising a glass at Cannes. Each image pulses with charisma, power, and an unspoken promise of more. Beyond the central seating area, arched doors carved from dark mahogany open onto a private library. Hundreds of shelves hold first editions, leather-bound volumes of Dickens, Byron, and Mirza Ghalib. A hidden ladder glides along a brass rail, and a Persian rug, its patterns intricate as a labyrinth, blankets the floor. A pair of large velvet drapes, lined in silk of the deepest crimson, guard the entrance to what is, in truth, the heart of this empire, the cryptocurrency vault. At first glance, it appears as ornate as any other door, polished bronze, etched with filigree, yet it hums with concealed power. Above the vault door, a discreet panel glows, a soft cyan rectangle that waits for a fingerprint, retina scan, and passphrase. In the vault's thrumming walls, blocks of data swirl like digital galaxies. Here, billions in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and unknown altcoins slumber behind multi-tiered encryption. To breach it would be madness. Throughout the penthouse, hidden speakers murmur a silent symphony composed of thumping bass and string crescendos, music tailored to stoke anticipation. Aromas of jasmine incense blend with the faint trace of sandalwood drifting from hand-carved alabaster burners. Even the air feels curated, as if bespoke for a man used to orchestrating global markets. Near the balcony, a chaise longue draped in cashmere faces the cityscape. A tray holds 2 flutes of Dom Perignon Vintage 15, still frosted from the ice bucket. On the low table rests a single white rose, its petals unfurling like a secret. The rose is from a greenhouse on the French Riviera, flown overnight to this suite less than 24 hours ago. A hidden corner reveals an ultra-modern art installation, a kinetic sculpture of polished steel spheres levitating in magnetic suspension. Each sphere rotates slowly, catching and fracturing light, as if mimicking the orbits of satellites. A plaque reads, "To Alaric, may your vision always stay in motion." At the far end, a sliding panel slides open to reveal a private study. Steel-reinforced walls, a walnut desk with laser-etched circuitry patterns, and a hollow projector floating mid-air. On the desk sits a single leather-bound journal, pages gilded, its cover stamped with a geometric crest. Next to it, a fountain. Pen rests on a silk cushion. The pen's nib is 24-karat gold. Through a second balcony door, an infinity pool glows under ultraviolet lights. Water laps against onyx tiles, and the horizon seems to merge with the city lights. Overhead, a retractable glass roof pivots to let in moonlight. Yet tonight, it stays closed, sealing this sanctuary in private darkness. Hovering by the pool's edge, a vintage bronze sculpture of Icarus captures the tension between ambition and fall. Its wings, half melted, seem to struggle in frozen mid-air. Nearby, a lounge chair, its cushions in midnight blue, holds a folded cashmere throw. A glass of tonic water stands on a marble coaster, condensation beading like pearls. Behind, a hidden elevator peeks from a mirrored panel. Though it travels down 8 floors, only 2 people hold the override codes. The elevator button panel is gone. Instead, a numeric pad waits. Each button press triggers a satisfying click, a sensory confirmation that power here is tactile. Elsewhere, an entire wall is devoted to accolades, framed profiles from Forbes, Time, and the Financial Times. Each headline shouts, "Tech Titan, Crypto King, Mogul of the Millennium." Yet, in one frame, Alaric's face is half-shadowed. No grin, no bravado, just steel resolve. The entire penthouse is encased in a state-of-the-art security system. Cameras hidden behind decorative lenses track every movement. A central AI named Aurelia monitors everything: voice pattern recognition, thermal imaging, drone-delivered alerts from the rooftop helipad. Aurelia speaks only to Alaric, her voice calm, reassuring, and utterly dispassionate. Tonight, however, the penthouse is silent. Too silent. A glass shatters in the service corridor. A soft click resonates near the vault door. Somewhere in these corridors, an intruder moves. In this realm of curated perfection, where every object reflects wealth, control, and intention, a single misstep could trigger laser defenses, release gas, or lock down the entire building. Yet, the intruder advances with surgical precision. Who is brave enough, mad enough, to breach this fortress of digital fortune? And what do they want with Alaric's secrets Hidden behind bronze, steel, and code, what lies beyond the vault door? Soft piano notes drift through a modest apartment kitchen in Sadar, Karachi. The walls bear cracks, fissures like tired scars. Shazia Rahman hums as she ladles chai into mismatched cups, her fingers stained with turmeric from last night's cooking. Each movement is careful, practiced, a dance perfected over years. Shazia's mornings always begin early. Before dawn's first light, she wraps her mother in a quilt and places a gentle kiss on her forehead. A lingering scent of rosewater perfume still clings to her mother's skin, a reminder of happier times before illness crept in. Shazia's own breath catches. She swallows hard. In a cramped living room, her younger brother, Samir, fusses over a tattered school uniform, smoothing out wrinkles as if ironing out life's wrinkles too. He's 14, skinny, hopeful, dreaming of becoming a civil engineer. His notebooks overflow with sketches of suspension bridges and city skylines he wishes to build one day. Shazia slips a phone to his hand. "Finish your breakfast quick," she whispers. "I'll drive you to school." She grabs her battered key fob, its buttons worn, and pauses before the faded family photograph taped to the dashboard. Her father's smiling face, his arm draped around her shoulders, seems impossibly distant. At 16, she lost him to a traffic accident. The mangled taxicab still haunts her dreams. She can't erase the smell of gasoline or the echo of metal crunching. But she can honor his memory by pushing forward, by earning her degree, by succeeding where fate tried to stop her. After dropping Samir, Shazia retreats to a small co-working space in Clifton. The downtown skyline towers above her head like guardian giants, indifferent yet inspiring. She plugs in her laptop, an inherited hand-me-down machine patched with duct tape and love. The fans whir like a jet engine. She clicks through code, lined with colorful brackets and semicolons. Her specialism, cybersecurity. Ever since she wrote her first Hello World program at 15 on her school's antiquated computers, she's known she'd battle digital villains. She studies algorithms like ancient scrolls, deciphers encryption keys like hieroglyphs. Each solved puzzle feels like reclaiming a piece of herself. Yet she's always felt the sting of being underestimated. The only woman in her programming cohort, the scholarship recipients who sneer at her patched laptop, the professors who mistake her for an intern. Each slight sharpens her determination. Each insult becomes fuel for her dreams. On her wall at the co-working space hangs a vision board, printouts of Forbes 30 Under 30, headlines like Women Driving Tech Innovation, and a glossy photograph of a marble vault, its door carved with ornate filigree and glowing with futuristic panels. Beneath it, she scrawled in marker, "Become the best. Break the unbreakable." By night, Shazia tutors neighborhood kids in math and science, charging whatever spare rupees families can afford. She's convinced education is a lifeline. She holds small group sessions in her living room. Jumu'ah prayers drift through the open window, mingling with chalk dust and warm evening air. A stray cat curls on her lap as she explains the intricacies of probability. Her mother watches from the doorway, eyes full of pride. "You do too much," she chides gently, but Shazia only smiles. "When I can help, I must," she replies. Guilt flickers in her chest. She's torn between family duties and her own ambitions. Yet she refuses to choose. Weekends find her in Karachi's historic Sadar district. Between colonial facades and bustling bazaars, she scavenges for technical parts in back alleys, circuit boards, GPUs, discarded servers. She repurposes them to build a rudimentary home lab in her bedroom. Her friends think she's eccentric. She calls it vision. Late one night, she deciphers an obscure GitHub repository discussing quantum-resistant encryption. It's academic, dense, but she sees daring in its lines. She integrates the code into her own toolkit and tests it against small wallets she creates. Each successful breach, each logged vulnerability, intensifies her fascination with digital vaults. Shazia's breakthroughs earn quiet recognition on niche forums. She adopts the handle Cipher Sisters, paired with an icon of a stylized crescent moon. Anonymous messages congratulate her brilliance. Offers appear. Bounties for uncovering corporate vulnerabilities. But she declines. Not for money. For the thrill of the solve. For the chance to outwit the system. Her heart races at the thought of a real challenge, a highly fortified vault, layers of encryption, guarded by AI, biometric locks, multi-signature authorizations. She dreams of a client with the audacity to commission such a fortress, and the arrogance to claim it's unbreachable. Yet her modest stipend barely covers groceries and electricity. She juggles freelance gigs, penning cybersecurity blogs, auditing local startups, even teaching a weekend crash course at a private tech academy. Each rupee she earns is a brick in her invisible fortress of independence. In spite of her brilliance, love has always felt out of reach. She once accepted a date from a civil servant colleague, kind, punctual, reliable. But over a dinner of biryani and chai, he remarked, "You're intimidating, you know." She laughed it off, but the words lingered, like a shard beneath her skin. Better to focus on code than risk further judgment. Her best friend, Aisha, teases her about romance. "You'll meet someone at a hackers' conference," she says, over steaming cups of Karachi chai. "Someone who loves your brain." Aisha's grin is infectious, but Shazia's shoulders slump. She isn't sure she wants a partner, or if her life has room for one. Then came the scholarship news. Selection to the prestigious Women in Cybersecurity Mentorship Program at MIT's Digital Vaults Lab. Shazia nearly dropped her phone when she saw the email. Her heartbeat thundered. Her vision board glowed in her mind's eye. This could change everything. Yet acceptance came with a caveat. Funding would be delayed by bureaucratic red tape, and she'd need to front the $5,000 program fee. She spearheaded a crowdfunding campaign, sending heartfelt videos to social media, explaining her dreams. Each share and donation became a vote of confidence, proof that her community believed in her and in her potential. The day the program coordinator called to confirm her spot, Shazia locked herself in her childhood bedroom, phone pressed to her ear. Tears pricked her eyes as she heard, "Your application stood out. We're thrilled you'll join us in Cambridge." Underneath her composure, her dream began to crystallize into reality. Halfway through her preparations, tragedy struck. Her mother's health deteriorated rapidly. Hospital bills piled up. Her lab equipment, once prized, was sold to pay for medicines. Samir's tuition hung in the balance. Shazia's dreams cramped under the weight of family duty. Each morning, she prayed for strength. Each night, she felt guilt for daring to dream at all. In the haze of hospital corridors and code reviews, hope flickered when Aisha slipped an envelope under her door. Inside, plane tickets, program invoices paid, and a note. "We believe in you. Stop holding back." Signed, her crowdfunding donors, neighbors, and strangers touched by her story. Shazia realized she was not alone. The same hands that clapped when she cracked a tough encryption had pooled resources to lift her up. In that moment, resolve cemented in her chest. She would seize this opportunity for her family, for her community, for every young girl who'd ever been told she wasn't enough. She flew to Boston with a duffel bag containing only essentials: her patched laptop, family photograph, and a small locket of her father's. The world beyond Pakistan's borders felt surreal. Snow frosting the runway, crisp air that made her lungs ache, strangers wrapped in thick coats. At MIT, she stepped into a cavernous lab, filled with quantum computers humming like metallic creatures. Senior researchers in tailored suits eyed her simple attire, her uncertain gait. But she held her head high, recalling her father's words: "Strength isn't in what you wear, but in what you carry within." Over the next weeks, she immersed herself in advanced protocols: zero-knowledge proofs, homomorphic encryption, decentralized key management. Each lecture felt like forging a key to an unseen fortress. Her name began to circulate among faculty. "That young woman from Karachi," spoken in tones of respect, tinged with wonder. She coded through jet lag and late nights, earning top marks on assignments. At a gala dinner for donors, she delivered a presentation on ethical hacking, her voice steady, precise, her slides alive with diagrams and data. Applause rippled through the hall as she concluded, "Security thrives not in walls of stone, but in the minds of those who challenge them." When she returned home months later, Shazia found her apartment transformed. New paint brightened the walls. Her mother's health improved. Samir's laugh had returned. A plaque on her wall read, "To our champion, welcome home." Yet beneath the joy pulse, an itch for more. The firmware of her ambition had been rewritten. She craved a challenge worthy of her newfound mastery, a fortress of code so intricate that only her ingenuity could unravel it. And that's when she stumbled upon the whisper, an encrypted invitation delivered to her now private email. No sender, no signature, but inside a series of complex keys and a single instruction: unlock the vault, prove your worth. Her pulse fluttered. A familiar thrill coursed through her veins, mingling with uncertainty. Should she accept this clandestine offer? Danger loomed: legal peril, retribution, betrayal. Yet her fingers itched for the keyboard. Would she dare to breach the ultimate digital bastion? What would you do in Shazia's shoes? Comment below. A midnight hush falls over Alaric's penthouse. Lamps dim to a sapphire glow. Even Aurelia's hum softens, as if awaiting an unseen cue. In the heart of the suite, the vault door stands silent. Bronze filigree framing a panel of blinking cyan, glyphs, fingerprint, retina, passphrase, all three required. Above, a hidden sensor shivers. Outside, the city sleeps. Within, code pulses like a heartbeat. Trillions in digital assets lie just behind this door. Somewhere in the corridors, Shazia Rahman's silhouette flickers. Black-clad, hood up, eyes shining with quiet resolve. Her heart beats to a tempo of adrenaline and purpose. She glides past the butler station, where cameras lie concealed in marble cornices. Each lens tracks motion. Each pixel feeds Aurelia's neural nets. Yet tonight, they miss the soft click of her lockpick. Her gloves, thin, Kevlar-lined, pressed gently on the iris scanner. A replica, etched from leaked schematics, fits perfectly. The scanner's glow shifts from cyan to emerald. Access granted. A soft hiss. The vault door slides inward a hair's breadth, then halts, awaiting the next authentication. Shazia inhales, tasting jasmine incense in the air. She's never been closer to temptation. She taps a sequence on her portable console. A matrix of lights dances across her makeshift screen. Algorithms she wrote, keys she forged, subverted the multi-signature requirement. The final layer, a heartbeat sensor. She presses her finger to a pad. Her pulse rings true. The door trembles, then clicks. A metallic sigh echoes through the suite. Inside, rows of cryptographic safes rotate like digital turbines. LED strips trace intricate patterns, illuminating altcoin wallets, smart contracts, tokenized artworks. A treasure trove beyond mortal comprehension. Shazia advances on silent souls. Her breath is measured. Her mind loops through contingencies. What if lasers? What if gas? What if Alaric returns unexpectedly? But her training holds firm. She's mapped every inch of this fortress, from public records, satellite overlays, and whispers on deep code forums. Every step calculated. At the center, the master control console. A floating hollow interface shimmers above a polished obsidian pedestal. A single prompt flashes. Enter override code. Shazia's fingers dance across her keypad. She recites the code under her breath, a string of prime numbers and glyphs. Each keystroke is a promise. I belong here. The hollow interface dissolves. Sections of the vault begin to unlock. A soft mechanical whir fills the chamber, like breath escaping lungs. She places a tempered glass shard against the console's panel, pries it free, exposing a tangle of circuits. She clutches her toolkit. Tiny drivers, anti-static tweezers, nanowire splicers. Her fingers move with practiced grace, rerouting power around a failing node. Sparks flare, brief as fireflies, then extinguish. The console flickers back to life. In that moment, the system awakens to foreign commands. Data streams rerouted into her covert transmitter. Packets fragment, compress, encrypt into shards. She watches progress bars tick. Bitcoin slivers, Ethereum fractions, obscure coins she's traded for deep access. Each byte siphoned into her waiting external drive. Time stretches. Each drop of sweat on her brow feels monumental. And yet she remains calm, focused. This is the apex of every challenge she's ever faced. Behind her, the vault door drifts closed, sealing out the world. Only now, too late, it clicks in place. The sensors detect intrusion, but await confirmation. Shazia glances at the timer on her console. 30 seconds until Aurelia raises alarm. 15. 10. She ejects the drive. A sleek encrypted module no larger than a credit card. She tucks it into her jacket's inner pocket. 5. 4. 3. 2. Aurelia's voice. Unauthorized access detected. Security protocol engaged. The AI's tone is crisp, dispassionate. Shazia pivots, sprinting through the labyrinth of steel doors and whispers of data. She retraces her path, past the hidden library, the bar, the marble aisles. Each corridor a gauntlet, behind her, red. Strobes ignite. Laser grids snap into position, crisscrossing the hallway like lethal threads. She leaps, rolls, slides under the lowest beams. Aurelia counts down. Evacuation in 30 seconds. Initiate lockdown in 20. The AI's voice echoes, cold as calculus. Shazia's mind races through options. Elevator or stairs? Rooftop or service exit? Her lungs burn, her legs tremble. At the threshold of the living area, a glass wall trembles, Security drones whirl into view, sleek black orbs with tracking lasers. She tosses a smoke grenade from her pocket. A plume of violet mist billows, obscuring vision. Alaric's drone flits in, its sensors scrambled. Shazia bounds toward the walnut console where the back door hides behind a tapestry. She yanks it aside, exposing a narrow shaft leading down. Lasers slice through the smoke. She drops into the U. Shaft closes the panel. Metal slides over, seals her in darkness. As she descends, she feels the surge of triumph and dread tangled in her chest. She's done it. She's breached the unbreachable. Yet the thrill is cut by a question. What will Alaric do when he learns his vault has been cracked? The shaft ends in a dim service corridor. She staggers into the night air, Karachi's breeze washing over her face. Below, the city's hum feels distant. In her pocket, the drive pulses like a heartbeat. She fades into the streets, a ghost among neon and mosques. Behind her rises the silhouette of Alaric's tower, its windows flickering in alarm. Somewhere inside, firewalls spark. Security teams scramble. Aurelia's voice repeats. Trace initiated. Shazia walks calmly. She's already vanished. But echoes of her deed ripple through high finance, elite circles, hidden chat rooms. A breach of this magnitude cannot stay secret. Tonight, the world shifts. Empires tremble. And in one slender drive rests the power to reshape destinies. What would you do in Shazia's shoes? Comment below. A pale dawn seeps through torn curtains in Shazia's tiny apartment. Her chest tightens with a cocktail of triumph and dread. She stands in the center of the room, the encrypted drive heavy in her palm, pulsing like a heartbeat. Pride swells, and then retreats, leaving an echo of fear. Memories of the vault's hiss, the glint of bronze edges, the hum of Aurelia's warning swirl in her mind like broken code. Each sensation replays. Her fingers tremble as she tucks the drive into a hidden pocket. What if they trace it? What if Alaric's wrath hunts her down? Aisha bursts through the door moments later, eyes wide with excitement. You did it, she gasps, breathless. Are you okay? Shazia forces a smile. I made it out alive, she says, voice brittle. She wonders if confidence can mask terror. Aisha drops to her knees, pulling Shazia's hands into hers. This is beyond anything we imagined. Her voice wavers. Are you sure you want to keep it? Shazia looks away, jaw clenched. She imagined glory, proof of her genius, but never the fallout. The guilt of breaking the law, the danger to her family. In the cramped kitchen, the kettle whistles. Steam curls in lazy spirals, a soothing counterpoint to her racing thoughts. Aisha pours chai into chipped cups. They sip in silence. The warm liquid burns familiarity into her veins. Aisha watches her, as if she can read the encrypted turmoil inside. I'm scared, Shazia admits, shoulders sagging. Not of getting caught, of what I've done. I've invaded a life, a world I barely understand. Aisha reaches across the table, her hand warm. You challenge the system. That's who you are. A force. Her smile falters. But we need a plan. Shazia nods, head heavy. Every lesson in cybersecurity flashes through her mind. Never leave traces. Rotate identities. Cover your tracks. But this is bigger. They spread a blueprint on the table. Shazia's parents' old oak desk, its surface tattooed with coffee rings and scribbled algorithms. She traces escape routes. Her phone buzzes, a news alert on her lock screen. Major crypto exchange reports security breach. The headline flares like an alarm. She blinks. The story spreads. Her palms sweat. In a matter of hours, her actions have ignited headlines, tweets, global chatter. Shadow forums celebrate Cypher Sisters as a folk hero. Elsewhere, darker channels label her a digital terrorist, someone to be hunted, silenced, broken. The duality terrifies her. She's both icon and enemy. Aisha's voice cuts through her panic. "We have to notify your family? Your mother?" Shazia shakes her head. "No, not yet." Guilt stabs her. She's drawn them into this storm before they can shield her. At the corner of the room, a chipped photograph of her father smiles up. The memory of his steady hand on her shoulder fuels her resolve. "I'll go underground," she whispers. "Lay low in the lab until this blows over. Then decide what to do." Aisha exhales. "You need support. Let me contact someone at the lab, someone we trust." Shazia bows her head. "Promise me one thing. No one else gets hurt." The day stretches into afternoon. Shazia packs a small bag. Laptop, charger, spare drives, minimal clothes. Every item weighs more than it should. A stray cat pads in through the open window. She murmurs comfort to it as she moves. Even the feline senses her turmoil. Outside, Karachi's sun beats down on the streets. She hesitates at the threshold, bag slung over her shoulder like a lifeline. Aisha steps beside her, voice firm. "I'll come with you to the co-working space. Then we split." Shazia nods. They slip into the alleys, past old colonial facades and lively bazaars. The city bustles, oblivious to the digital earthquake above. They reach the co-working space. Aisha thumbs a private code into a keypad. The door clicks open. Inside, empty desks glow under LED lights. Shazia's makeshift home lab waits. Towers of repurposed servers, tangled wiring, a sea of monitors. It's her sanctuary. And now, her bunker. She plugs in. Lines of code scroll across screens. The encrypted drive pulses gently on her desk. Everything hinges on what she does next. Aisha watches quietly, tension etching her brow. "We should move the drive in pieces, shard it, distribute keys." Shazia nods, fingers flying. She writes a script to break the drive's data into time-locked fragments. Only she and Aisha hold the reassembly key. As the script runs, Shazia's phone vibrates again. This time, a direct message from an unknown handle. "You've got our attention. We'd like a conversation." Her heart hammers. The sender's tag, Orion, a legendary broker in darknet circles. No contact details, just a proposition. "Meet at midnight. Terms to follow." Shazia's mind whirls. Orion's reputation is fierce, cautious, merciless, powerful. To meet him is to step into a darker realm. Aisha exhales. "You know, you can't ignore that. He brokers data, identities, secrets. If he has your drive..." Shazia clenches her jaw. "I need leverage, expertise. He knows more about encrypted assets than anyone." Aisha hesitates. "And if he double-crosses you?" Shazia's eyes burn with determination. "Then I'll outsmart him." They work through dusk. By the time night falls, the drive's data is fragmented into 5 shards, each encrypted with distinct passphrases. Shazia labels them and hides, each shard in separate secure e-wallets. Only she knows the coordinates. Only she can reassemble the whole. Yet despite her precautions, A sliver of doubt lingers. Is fragmentation enough protection? Or is she sealing her own trap? As midnight approaches, Shazia steps onto the rooftop of the building. Karachi's skyline sprawls before her. Mosques, high-rises, neon signs flickering like distant stars. A lone bench sits under a solar lamp. She perches, phone in hand, watching the clock tick toward the meeting. Her breath catches. The hum of the city feels distant, muted, under the weight of what's to come. Aisha stands behind her, arm resting lightly on her shoulder. "You're not alone," she says softly. Shazia turns, offering a grateful smile. "Thank you for everything." A motorbike revs below. A dark figure dismounts and ascends the stairwell to the roof. Orion? An envoy? A threat? Shazia's pulse flares. She steels herself. This conversation could secure her future, or end it. What would you do in Shazia's shoes? Comment below. Will she trust Orion, and can she live with the consequences? The rooftop wind flutters Shazia's hijab as Orion steps into the dim pool of lamplight. A silhouette clad in tailored black. His face emerges. Chiseled features. Ice-blue eyes that hold calculation and curiosity. "Cipher sisters," he greets, voice low and smooth. "I've read your work. You've upset a titan." Shazia keeps her stance steady. "I need your help, or I walk away." Orion smiles, revealing a gold tooth glinting. "I broker data and destinies, but deals require trust." He produces a slim tablet displaying live feeds from Alaric's security network. Drones, guard routes, biometric scans. "I can shield you. In exchange, join my consortium." She's wary. His offer smells of velvet and venom. Yet the data could fortify her plan. "Why me?" she asks. "Because you broke his vault," he replies, "and because I want to dismantle his empire one brick at a time." Her pulse quickens. This isn't just about data. It's about revenge, power, and possibility. A sudden drone whir startles them both. Orion taps a command. It spirals away, scrambled. "See?" he says. "Consider me an ally." Shazia inhales. The alliance could tip the scales, but at what price? What would you risk for ultimate leverage? Comment below. Backstage at a high society gala, Alaric Dane strides under glittering chandeliers. His tailored tuxedo fits like armor, his jaw set with cold resolve. He's been briefed. A phantom hacker slipped past Aurelia, stole millions, in crypto, and vanished. His pride stings. His advisors whisper about sabotage, betrayal, even the whispers of a rival billionaire's hand. His mother, Lady Celeste Dane, intercepts him by the champagne tower. Her sapphire gown ripples under the lights. Her voice is silk over steel. "Alaric, control the narrative. A breach is an opportunity. Spin it." He nods curtly. "Prepare a press conference. Frame it as a global alert. We'll partner with governments on security." Reporters murmur in the hall, "Who's behind this? Is Dane's empire crumbling? Will crypto crash?" Each question chips at his veneer. In the shadows, a black tuxedoed handler slips him a confidential dossier, intelligence on a Pakistan-based hacker collective. One name circled in red, Shazia Rahman. Alaric's eyes narrow. The game has a new player, and he's determined to break her back. What would you do if your fortress was breached? In a hidden art studio above Clifton, Shazia and Orion pore over schematics of Alaric's vault. Paint-splattered canvases lean against walls. Musk of oil and turpentine fills the air. Orion brings her tea in a chipped ceramic cup, its rim cracked yet charming. He watches her code with awe. Your mind is a marvel. Shazia's cheeks warm. She hides a smile. His praise is unexpected, but comforting. They share silence, punctuated by the soft drip of paintbrushes rinsing. Orion tells her about childhood dinners in Dubai, boardrooms scented with oud. She listens, captivated by glimpses of a life she's only hacked from afar. A stray beam of sunlight catches on her laptop screen. She pauses. Thank you for believing in me. He edges closer, offering a hand. We're building something new. Under the gentle chaos of art and code, trust germinates. Could a hacker and a broker become more than allies? Share your thoughts. In Shazia's refurbished lab, the door swings open. Her heart jolts as Imran, the civil servant who once called her intimidating, steps in, his uniform crisp, his posture rigid. Shazia, he whispers, shock and admiration mingled in his eyes. You're a legend now. She grips a soldering iron, chest tight. Not here. Imran advances, voice earnest. I tracked you. I still care. She shuts down her console. Sparks fade. Memories of his hurtful words flash. Focus on code, not emotions. He holds out a folder. Official papers. Immunity offers from Interpol. Safe passage for her family. They want you to testify, to bring Alaric down legally. Her mind reels. Protection versus freedom. Trust versus betrayal. Imran steps closer. Let me help. Her hacked heart battles with logic. Can she accept help from an old love that once wounded her? What would you do? Trust Imran or walk away? A sea of cameras and flashes greets Alaric at the podium. He clears his throat, steel in his gaze. Yesterday, our systems were compromised. This is not an attack on me. It's an assault on everyone's financial future. Reporters shout questions. Alaric raises a hand. We're unveiling new security protocols in partnership with global agencies. Suddenly, the giant screen behind him glitches. A live feed of Shazia's code scrolling across her laptop fills the room. Her face appears, defiant. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Alaric's jaw clenches. He slams his fist on the lectern. Stop this! But the feed shifts. Imran's dossier, Orion's logo, her fragmented drive locations, every secret on public display. Pandemonium erupts. Betrayals, alliances, identities are exposed in real time. The world watches as power and vulnerability collide. How would you react if your secrets went live? Comment below. Late at night in Alaric's private study, he paces before the hollow projector, replaying Shazia's feed. Each frame reveals not malice, but brilliance, a fierce hunger for justice. Outside the door, Shazia stands, handcuffed by protocols, not bars. Her eyes lock with his, fear, regret, a spark of something more. He lifts a retinal scanner wand. One last test, he murmurs. He scans her eye, then releases the cuffs. She stumbles free, heart pounding. Why? He steps close, voice soft. Because you're the only one who ever broke through me. He drops a single silver key on the desk, the passphrase to restore her shards. Prove your worth. Again. Tears glisten as she meets his, Gaze. In his arms, vulnerability and strength collide. Will she trust him or walk away? Months later, Dawn spills gold over a refurbished community center in Sadar. Shazia oversees a coding workshop for girls, smiling faces bathed in hope. Orion funds the project. Imran handles logistics. Alaric visits in casual clothes, quietly observing. A mural of a phoenix, rising from circuit boards, covers the wall. Under it, a plaque reads, "For every fortress broken, we build new paths." Shazia steps forward to cut the ribbon. Cameras click. Voices cheer. The scene fades on her radiant face, no longer haunted, but guided by purpose. What's your dream? Project? Tell us below. Our tale concludes, for now. Shazia cracked the uncrackable and transformed her world. Alaric learned that true power lies in trust. Thanks for joining this billionaire drama. Like, share, and subscribe for the next emotional roller coaster. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold. What twist do you hope to see next? Comment and let us know.